the chair.
I am so glad I turned on audio right now. Welcome, everybody.
Oh my god, the timing on that though. It was a few seconds behind and I had the audio on and that timing was
It
brilliant.
was great. I, held down the click button hoping that it wouldn't, go over, but it did, and I was like, well, we can't undo that.
Brilliant timing.
I did miss what Mystic had said, but Patty's whole thing was there. So, anyway, welcome everybody to, God, the chat is just, you guys have spammed it so, just, welcome to Terribad Tavern. We're back. I am Soul, your dungeon master, and I'm joined here by some incredible people. They join me every time we do this, except for the rare times when they don't.
Except for when they don't.
Very rare. We got Beard Goblin playing FIFA. We got Patty Cake Games playing Azriel. Mystic Raven playing Vaza, and a couple of the nerds together playing Dorcas and Gildea. And yeah, we're here with more of our incredible antics. Do any of y'all remember what happened last time?
Well, a big chicken. And we befriended a guard chicken.
Of
Yeah.
diaries. Nothing of import happened except we made a best friend. Susan, the Russian guard chicken. Spelled with at least 3 N's.
At least 3 ends.
Chicken?
Chicken.
You know what else happened of import? Asa swore off chicken wing.
I don't know.
That's
Facts.
Oh, yeah.
Vaza did
true.
swear off chicken wings.
We are converted to turkey wings and other Terribad wings that we may find along the way.
Thank you, Terribad. Phenomenal.
Yeah, you guys came across the farm where you guys saved them from a cockatrice. It was a fight that was very interesting, considering that Azrael was like 2 feet from it at one point when y'all were trying to stay hidden. But you guys successfully got through the fight and continued on your way to the town of... I didn't even pull up my notes now that I'm thinking about it. Of Anchor's Rest, which is the coastal town that is basically the central port for the capital and all of its dealings. I think that's basically what happened. Yeah, you guys leave the farm, in the dust behind you. You controlled the blazes so that way it would not destroy the entirety of their crops and they could take the time to rebuild and get themselves collected. And you find off in the distance the rooftops of the buildings on Anchor's Rest coming up over the horizon. And as you get closer, you can actually see how, as the town sort of falls down and matches level with the coast and the water, there is a singular road that stretches straight through the entirety, and you can see out as the hill dips a wall, the wall of warships that protects this port. That occasionally you see way out in the... God, I'm trying so hard. Every time we come back to this after 2 weeks, I gotta reinstall what it is to be a DM in my brain, and I'm like, I gotta just update these drivers. You gotta update your drivers, and I gotta just reset. You see this wall of warships, and as you approach, you see as a couple of them in the center separate and move out of the way, being pulled by massive chains, it appears, by other ships that are sitting to allow another few trade ships to come into this large port. A few ships are scattered about on within the harbor, with paddle boats making their way all the way to the docks. you ride your way into town, and it is late in the day, but still very lively. There are wagons moving, moving around the town, trying to get things from place to place. Plenty of shops and things are still open. Some of the bars and inns that stay in the later hours are finally opening their doors. News barkers are still telling the news of the events that you had prevented a few days before at the capital, where the queen's life was attempted to be ended. And this is just sort of where you find yourself. You get far enough, I'll say, to town center, where a very large fountain sits, and multiple merchant stands sit open. A lot of fish and fresh goods of people just trying to sell basic wares. What do y'all want to do? You're kind of given... You, of course, have your objective of, having to get across the ocean, but you guys have sort of a minute here to take the time you want to take, or you can just go right on with your day. Up to y'all.
Basic wares or magical wares?
Interesting wares.
Basic wares. You see, I would say, without a perception check, you can just kind of tell. No, some of the shops, when you look in the windows, have... I'm going to use air quotes of exotic goods, sort of like, herbs and spices that you can't get on the continent of that the Citadel is on. Some pelts from animals that don't frequent this area. Exotic in sense of like, this is where the mass of the trade is for the capital. So you're getting things that people can't typically get here, and this is the first stop that they make. So, you probably recognize a few things from Malia, the kind of, silks and things you see there. Same with Gildea. You see a lot of things that you would recognize as Malian works and metalsmithing and things like that. Beardy and Vaza, through your travels, you've seen plenty of flowers and things that you definitely can't get on the Citadel, and these, items are in flower shops, or, herbalists are grinding them up to make certain teas or powders. But nothing of sort of like, magical nature, like, way out of there, I guess.
Oh my gosh, there's this tea. Vaza, you have to try it. They make it out of all sorts of herbs that all begin with G, right? So, there's like ginger in it, there's ginseng, and it fuels you up. And we just need to get some of this G fuel.
I'm gonna start covering this with my hand. Whenever I sip, I'm gonna just cover the whole thing.
But
Fuel?
Yes,
but
it's phenomenal.
we can also get. There's a certain mixture of 11 herbs and spices.
God fucking damn it!
And what would you do with these 11 herbs and spices?
There's a certain way to prepare dishes. It's called the colonel's recipe.
Ooh, colonels?
That sounds finger licking good.
That whole thing with Watsy didn't go through, but we're gonna get sued.
Hey, there's only a few ways. It's the old times. There's only a few ways to eat fresh.
God
And
fucking
I'm loving
damn it.
every single way.
Stop! You need to be stopped. I need a mute Beardy button.
Don't forget, this stream is sponsored by Friendship.
That I'll accept. Oh shit.
I can stop suggesting things. You can have it your way.
What do you want to do, Dorcas?
Leave behind his party members.
Is there anyone selling books?
Yeah, I would say that you can find a bookstore around.
That's where I go.
Okay. Well, the rest of you kind of think of what you might want to check out, or if you're just like, nah, we want to go do the mission, we can go to that. You find a rather large bookshop. And when you go in, like I said, it's kind of late in the day, so business has definitely slowed down, but I could chalk this bookshop up to the sort of feeling like Ollivander's wand shop. Very dark and dusty, and only a little bit of light shows through the bookshelves occasionally from the candles that are lit. Though there is not a stand in the very front for someone to greet you, you can see down the rows that all the way in the back there is a sort of desk. You don't see anyone sitting at it from where you're at, but there are quite a lot of books in this. It is only a single story. It doesn't have an upper level. This is what you find yourself in.
So I'm looking for anything on spells, magic, anything like that.
Yeah, make an investigation check, sure.
I don't know a damn thing. Let's see.
A 6? You find, as you go through, you find some of your basic rudimentary books, the ones that you definitely were given when you were first studying magic. Then again, though you find them, it is rare to see them in the Citadel, considering there is no major magic school in the Citadel. Oh god, excuse me, that came out of nowhere. There is no, school of magic on this continent, so as you look around, you see books that, hey, you really wouldn't see here. A lot of them are worn and used. Definitely, like, a scholar came over and sold them to get some extra money as they moved. But nothing that is outstanding and new to you. I leave. Very well. Yeah, with nothing.
Lucas, have you talked to everyone in there?
I can't say there was anyone in there to talk to, but so I figured I could leave.
Finding nothing of interest, you go ahead and step back out onto the street. Who else has got some ideas of what they might want to do? If not, we can go on to the main mission.
You said that was a fish market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
Solid.
Is there any sort of events happening where there's a large crowd of people?
No. I would say you don't notice anything of that nature here.
Well, I'm pretty famished. What are we all feeling? Some food?
Some fuel and 11 herbs and spices.
I'd be down for some fish and chips if they have it.
Ah, yes. The famous fish and chips.
I hear. Where are we? Albach?
Huh?
Anchor's Rest?
Yes.
I hear that the town that we're in
Anchor's Rest
is famous for its insert ingredient that or delicacy that I've heard of here.
Ah, yes, I've heard. There's a restaurant.
Insert world building element here.
It's Captain B's.
Captain B's?
Captain B's?
Ah, yes, the famous restaurant from this town.
What fucking reference am I not getting?
I'm freaking down.
Do they have at plays?
Do they?
Oh, God damn it!
Are there at plays?
Okay, I get that
They
joke,
have nothing with nuts.
but
right? I can't
what
do
is
bees
Captain
nuts.
B's?
Bees nuts? Bees nuts is not. It's not.
Is that what we're going for?
All right, who had facepalm on the DM on their bingo card?
How quick was that one? That might have been our quickest one ever.
Who had 18 minutes in?
18 minutes?
I got fucking D's nuts by my own party. Y'all are you're getting a fucking TPK.
Hey, do not rope all of us into this.
Just remember what awaits you if Azrael dies.
Yeah, I really don't want to have to deal with Darkwing Duck. I'm gonna be honest with
Oh,
you.
it's not dark anymore.
Fuck, that's right. He's not gonna be Darkwing. Oh, okay. So, okay, if y'all, okay, I can't say okay enough. You head your way through the coastal city and find yourself down to the actual docks where cargo is being pulled off ships. Anything smaller that doesn't need to be lifted by a crane is being taken off of paddle boats. There is, even though, as I said, it is late in the day, it is still hustle and bustle trying to get as much done as possible before the light is gone. There are a few unsavory looking characters here, as well as many people dressed in very fine clothing. You notice a couple large ships having people walk off it with basically carry-on bags and things that they can hold on to. Passenger boats. You recognize one ship is lifted out of the water by massive cranes that sit on either side of it, and it is, as you stare, you can see some engravings of it being it has the markings of some kind of royalty, and it appears to be worked on. Like the underside of the hull and things are appearing to be very hard worked on, and sails are being torn down and things as it's essentially getting replaced and repaired. You search around for a while, and eventually you find a very large sign that it says, oh god, I just forgot the word. I had a word for what it says, and then I totally forgot it. I can't think of this word.
I took a cruise out of this port once. The ziplining in Malia, don't do it. It was just rainy.
I really can't think of this fucking word.
While Soul searches for this word, I'd like to remind everybody that this stream is sponsored by Thesauruses, where I assume Soul is going.
I am honest. I am on a thesaurus.
Yes!
Fuck, what is this word? I can't even find it, dude. I'm not even seeing a word that I'm like, yep, that's the one.
A thesaurus, is that some exotic creature?
Yes. I fought the mighty thesaurus once. It was very, we actually ended up being quite good friends afterwards. Very eloquent speaker. Knew all the words. And what they meant.
Okay, so it's gonna be so dumb. Y'all are gonna be like, how'd you not know that word? You find a large sign that says import and export transporting. Don't worry about which one of those I couldn't think of.
Was it transporting? I forget transporting all the time.
It might have been transporting. So, it would, but
it just sounds so much like train spotting. It's like
it's very true. But import and export transporting, and it kind of looks like what we would assume to be nowadays a train station. There's people waiting outside of it, sitting on benches. People going in and out. Those who come out usually are walking out with either individual tickets or very large ledgers, and that is the major building that you see on the docks. You all go in, and there's a few different tellers with lines of people that they are, sort of bringing in and out through their whole day to day. And eventually, your group is next in the line for ticketing. Who approaches? Which is going to be a very interesting conversation.
This is not going to be me. I don't know where we're going.
Is there a board that says destinations?
I would say see a map of the sort of entire kingdom of Ursulon that we have over here. Where
Are we going
thumb? That.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Where is our
Anyone
destination?
remember?
You guys. Oh,
Going to tell Buck.
yes.
Okay.
Or at least
I
as
think
close
we'll
to Telbach as you
Remember,
can.
should go talk to
Talbot, that's the one I was
Which-
trying to say earlier, because that's where I thought we were. Talbot, not Albach.
No.
Susan is Albach and no bite, but
Oh my god.
Mm,
I knew it was coming. I knew.
I'm missing a note somewhere because there's a specific city that isn't that one.
Dungeon Master, can we level up so that I can not care how big this room is and cast Fireball?
Not yet, and the more you ask, the less it's gonna be. I'm sorry. That
I
was
will
so.
approach the
That was
chicken
so
encounter.
hostile. I am so sorry.
I'm trying to alleviate you from the puns, Dungeon Master.
But okay. You approach. Go right ahead. You.
Yes.
Uh,
Hello there. Greetings.
a older gentleman sitting on the other side of this window. It does have a like a metal bar cage in front of it where he can slide things underneath, is sitting with a very large book in front of him, and you come in with all this energy and he just goes, all right, how can I help you today?
Yes, you see, well, we need to get to Talbach. We are on a very important mission for the Queen.
I'm sure you are. Well, the closest port to Terribad is Eastwatch. And he pulls... There are very large books sitting in front of him. He pulls out another very large book and folds it out on top of this one. He dips an ink and cool. He goes, how many are you?
Yes, well, there's 5 of us. Plus,
Don't
we
forget
have
Simon and
we
Susan.
have a bodyguard in the form of a chicken.
You have a bodyguard in the form of a chicken?
Yes, haven't you ever heard of guard chicken before?
No.
You need to get out more.
Yes, I will be sure to get out more on my seafaring salary that I get.
Yes.
you get a salary? Wow.
He
I'm
goes,
not a big fan of salads, but that sounds awesome.
I knew it.
no small one. A salary. It's the amount I get paid on a regular basis.
He gets
Oh.
paid in vegetables. It's okay.
That is not correct. Anyway, 5 individuals, as well as you said a chicken.
A guard chicken and a donkey.
Donkey. And you plan to have all of these things on the ship with you as well.
What?
Yes.
But of course.
Just ensuring this, some people choose not to travel with livestock or any cargo. They want to go themselves. Okay.
You ask us to leave behind the susses. Simon and Susan are family.
My apologies, ma'am. I was just trying to be thorough. It's very important that we do all of this information. Now, what is your budget for travel?
Well, as I
One
said,
goal.
we are on a very important mission from the Queen. You see, so, and we are also heroes in this land. You may have heard of our exploits from saving a farm recently.
I
So
can.
recent, they're not gonna have heard of that, Azrael.
I have not heard of any farms being saved as of recently. And do
Here,
you have?
Susan? Tell them.
You hold this chicken out, and Susan's head pokes through the bars, and the man sort of sits way back, and just goes, "Hello, Susan." And Susan makes a few clucking sounds, and he goes, "Very fascinating. Thank you."
You see, so you obviously understand that we are very important. So money should be no object for this travel.
Understood. Well, if that is the case and such, then for 5 passengers and their cargo and their livestock on the greatest ship that we can possibly put you on to Eastwatch, it is going to be... And he flips a few pages in that book, lifts it up, and looks at the larger book underneath. He goes, in total about 1,200 gold for your travel.
Huh.
Well, you see, sir, I think you misunderstand.
You said money was no object.
Yes! That means there's no object! I think you are quite misunderstanding here. We are emissaries from the Queen.
Do you have proof of such emissary status?
And we do?
Yes, look at our shiny badges.
Were you given badges? I know you were given coins. Were you given badges?
Coin badges.
Oh yeah, you were given the silver wolf coin, right?
Yes.
He takes the silver wolf coin and he goes, give me a moment. And he takes it to the other side and stands, and you sort of see him disappear into one of the back rooms. And it's a few moments before he returns and sits back down in his seat. He goes, my apologies, I needed to authenticate that.
Gildea, how much was in that booty bag of gold that we get you to look after? No, he doesn't know. He's not.
I'll say this conversation is happening while he's in the back.
That's fine. I still don't remember.
Oh no.
I have a bag of 165 gold and 6 toothpicks.
The
I know.
toothpicks are useful. Keep hold of them.
No, you never know when you're going
You
to
never
need
know
one.
when you need one.
Sometimes you need to get like one of those little batteries out. You need to reset something electronic.
If I remember correctly, huh?
Where did that gold come from that you're talking about?
The gold
Queen, wasn't it?
you were all given, if I remember correctly, you were given 500 gold in total to disperse amongst yourselves for the work that you had done by the Queen. She also gave Gildea an extra, I believe, 120 gold to charter passage to the continent of Telbach. And I think that's... And she took all of it because she didn't trust Azrael to hold on to it. Vaza didn't want it and was like, nah, I'm not gonna give it to freaking FIFA because he doesn't know what money is. And I think that's where that went. So yeah, in total, as all of your money pulled together, as Gildea holds it, now you all have your own individual money on you, I assume. As
There's
Gildea
also a raisin
holds
in
it,
here.
she has 620 gold to be dispersed. Well, 500 gold to be dispersed, 120 for passage. So yeah.
Alright, so you've authenticated our status. What does that do for our price?
Well, it's very interesting. I can't say I know what the Treasury is willing to pay to have all of you travel, as well as your livestock and things. Though, I could send a courier to the castle and ask them what they're willing to pay for your travel. And then when they come back and they tell me, we can put you on whatever ship that matches, and then we can, of course, get the payment from them. No, of course, charge to all of you.
Or you could just bill them for our travel.
I understand what you're asking me to do. However, I cannot just bill them for your travel without them understanding the agreement they're getting into. Because let's say, of course, I put you on the most expensive ship with the best commodities and, you know, the best defense and all of these things. And then I bill, of course, the crown itself for over 1,000 gold, and the crown was not prepared to pay 1,000 gold for your travels. Not only comes back on me, but and my boss and all of us here at the, you know, traveling bureau. It then goes back on all of you, because we are going to have to send someone after you to, of course, pay the bill, and that just costs more money, and then whenever court is brought in, you will have to pay the fine for not only your travel, but of course the person we paid to come find you, and it just becomes a lot more of a headache and paperwork rather than asking them, are you willing to pay that much money?
That still
So-
sounds like we're getting from point A to point B, but with extra steps.
Yes, however, it determines on whether or not we will get to these steps in 6 or 9 months, depending on how long it takes for someone to find you, or tomorrow.
What you're saying is, it's going to take at least a day's ride to get to the Citadel, and one more to get back.
Correct.
We are in very pressing business.
And
Queen
I-
herself has charged us with.
I'm sure she has, as your coin obviously shows. However, I cannot just bill the crown, you understand.
If the
You
Queen
could take
herself
this
was to walk in
opportunity
here,
to have a long rest.
If the Queen herself was here right now and told me to give you whatever ship that I could possibly do it, I would, because it's her word saying it right from her mouth. She would say, I don't care what the pill is, I'll pay it all, it doesn't matter. And if that's the case, that's the case. But I cannot just assume that's what she's willing to do from here right now. You
But
understand?
that's just what these coins mean.
These coins mean
Have
that
you
you are
not
emissaries.
Exactly.
These coins mean you are
We are
emissaries.
on official business from the Queen.
Which is the first ship that is heading off to Telbuk?
He picks up the one large book and looks underneath. He goes, the first ship heading out is a trading ship. It is not very large, however, it is very much in defense because it is on our trade routes. It is the fastest ship, and it leaves tomorrow morning and will be in Eastwatch. And he scrolls through some of the things in his book. He goes, in about 2.5 months.
how much?
For that ship, for 5 of you to get on, it would be, well, as well as your cargo and things, it would only cost about 50 gold. It's a trading ship. Very small. You wouldn't get much in the way of commodities. You'd probably have to sleep on the upper deck and, you know, lay out some blankets and things to sleep comfortably, but it is the first ship leaving.
Sounds perfect to me.
Now, how about, say, 25 gold?
Make a persuasion check.
That's good. That's good.
Chink. Chink. Chink.
You're just putting the gold down.
That is a 20.
Holy fuck. Okay.
Oh, 22. Sorry, 22.
He...
Rolled a nat 20?
No, I rolled a 16, but I have plus 6.
He has so much, dude. He's so fucking... He's such a slippery little bitch. It is so... He sighs and just goes, allow me to ask the dockmaster. And stands up again, goes to the back for a few minutes. After being in the back, he comes back and he goes, with the credentials that you have given to me and the proof of such things, I am willing to drop the price to 25 gold, and we will make up the rest.
Deal!
Very well.
If we pay an extra 10 gold, could we shave that time down to 1 month?
I cannot control the sea and wind. I mean, a usual barge, a normal sized ship traveling here to Eastwatch takes about 3 months. Due to the size of the trading ship and the fact that it's moving with an entire fleet of trade ships, it is going to be moving faster because they are on a pressing time schedule. 2.5 months is the best that I could possibly give you.
That's worth a guy.
He
The
begin.
sooner we leave, the sooner we get there.
Bye.
He takes the 25 gold and writes all of your information down as who is traveling, what you're taking with you, which ship you'll be on, etc., etc. He then pulls a large piece of paper out and stamps it, and rips it out and hands it like through the bars and goes, you will have to give that to the ship's quartermaster, who will give you actual tickets, and your understanding to be passage on tomorrow's voyage. I will let you know now. If you do not make your voyage tomorrow morning. There is no refund. I cannot pay you. The payment you have given us has already been dispersed and prepared to be given to the quartermaster for the ship you will be going on. Please make your voyage or you will have to pay and wait for a new one.
What's the name of the ship we'll be going to?
It is a part of an entire fleet. It is the Southern Trading Fleet. They will put you on whatever ship they are capable of. The quartermaster is the same for the whole fleet.
I'm taking a piece of paper.
All right. Is there anything else that I can help you all with today?
Where can I get some metalworking done?
There is a blacksmith. I mean, I suppose it depends. There are two blacksmiths in this area. There is one that specifically works for the trading companies and all their ships. It's a very large blacksmith. They mostly work with nails and fittings and things. That is on the east side of town, and then if you go to the west side, that is a more personal blacksmith who works with weapons and armor and things of the sort.
Which inn in town has the most comfortable roof?
The most comfortable roof. I can't say I spend much time on roofs. I wouldn't know. You would have to ask around.
That's fair. Thank you.
You good, Mrs. Nerd?
This man is just—he's so professional.
This is a Taco Bell employee that is just done.
No, seeing the like, you're just like, I'm going to continue to be professional in the face of all of these ridiculous questions.
Absolutely, man. Listen, man, that's what customer service is like, yo.
Makes me happy.
And I say, Susan thanks you.
You hold out Susan, and again, her head goes through the bars, and she makes some clicking sound. She goes, "It was a pleasure meeting you, Susan. If that is all, I will call next." And he raises his hand to gesture the next person forward.
This whole time.
I said there were multiple lines.
So sorry. So sorry. So sorry.
He's very good, very
25.
good.
Don't let him ask you for more.
Do we get any side eye from the people behind us?
I will say the next person, a very large man with his younger son, just sort of goes and like kind of gives. Excuse me, what the fuck is going on with these burps? Just kind of gives you a sort of like stink eye of like took you long enough, and steps forward.
Come here often? Oh, sorry, you're next. Go.
No. You are not about to just glance over that. Make a charisma check.
Okay. Straight charisma?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 6.
You say that, and he turns and looks at you and goes, "More than you, obviously."
It's true.
First time here. Hi.
First time.
And he steps up to the counter and begins having, his business dealt with. You
I was expecting us to have to start a fight again already.
you all head out to the harbor area, and yeah.
I would
You
like
said
to
dad,
get
I
some.
saw DILF. I took my chance.
Oh my god.
God damn it.
I'm going to the nearest inn to rest and eat because I'm very tired.
Me as well.
Great idea.
Alright.
I would like to get some metalworking done.
Okay. We'll go to the metalworking, and then we'll have you guys and your in and finding a room and things.
As long as your metalworking does not involve stealing, sir.
Of course not.
You have to roll deception for that.
Yeah. Roll deception against Gildea's insight.
That is a 20.
Jesus. Dirty 20?
Dirty 20.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
Damn. Yeah, I mean it tracks. It tracks. He seems like he's not going to be much of
You want to
a
roll
thief.
rifle dice?
Sit there and watch her fall for it, knowing full well that he's going to try and pocket every single thing that he can lay his hands on.
Can I re-roll with the actual dice?
Oh, I feel like I'll. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
What the fuck?
I'm feeling generous.
This could be worse. You don't know.
Could
I
be.
know.
There are so many numbers between 1 and 20.
Can I cast
My
guidance?
God. It's so much worse.
It's so much worse.
What'd you get on the second one? Oh yeah.
I am fully trusted.
No, you're not.
Which blacksmith are you going to?
I'm going to the one that specializes in personal items.
All right. So you head on over to the. We said west side of town. It's all right.
Oh, Azrael, before you go, Azrael. I'm
Yes,
like
Fifa.
tugging on your like coat. Azrael, Azrael,
Yeah, yes, little one.
come. Close. So, I know that you have a specific talent that can be useful at some times to get things that maybe are expensive for a little bit cheaper, if you know what I'm saying.
Ah, yes.
I
The
need.
5-finger discount, yes.
Yes. I'll let you do your own methods. I don't want to hear about it. I need a gilded acorn worth 200 gold. If you could find one. That's
I
it.
see. Okay.
Gilded acorn. I, as the DM, am curious as to why.
Means he's gonna put one in that shop because he wants to know why.
You head over to the side of town that has the personal blacksmith, and you find a blacksmith and his apprentice cleaning up the forge. The coals are starting to die down a bit as it is late in the day, but they are still present when you arrive. Yeah.
Yes, my humble blacksmith. I have some custom work I would like done on an object.
The one of the older man who you assume to be the head blacksmith looks over to the younger looking woman and just sort of nods his head, and she turns to you and wipes her hands off on her apron and goes, "Custom work? What are you looking for?"
All right. So I pull out my queen's coin,
Okay.
and I would like to add some points to this, 5 of them, to make a star, and attach something to the back of it so that it can kind of hang on to my chest here.
On the back of it, you mean like a clip, like a brooch would have?
Yes, of course.
She picks up the coin and kind of examines it for a second. She goes, "It'd be real small. 5 points?"
Yes, it needs to be in the shape of a star.
See. She turns and passes the coin to the older gentleman, and he stares at it for a second, and he goes, "You're better off talking to a jeweler." And passes it back to you. He goes, "It's too small. If I hit it with on an anvil, it'll break."
I see. I was told you were the best in town.
Make a persuasion check.
Ooh, that's gonna be good.
Oh, fuck's sake.
I mean, it's a 19 on the roll.
Fuck. Okay.
That is a 25.
25.
Oh my god.
You say this, and you see him just kind of like give a little like a scoff, like a, you know, I am best in town. And he goes, huh. So you want a star made out of it that you can pin to yourself?
Oh yes, yes, yes. But if that's too difficult, I understand.
He turns and looks at his apprentice, and he looks back down at the star, and he goes, fire up the forge. Come back tomorrow morning.
Ah, thank you.
And he...
Best in town. How are you with chicken armor?
Is Vaza with her?
Yeah, Vaza, did you go with him?
Yeah.
Okay. He turns and sets the coin down, and just sort of like he sets the coin down, just kind of like.
What the?
He turns and like rests his hands on the bench that's separating all of you, and goes, "Would it still have to fly?"
She
Now-
can't fly per se.
Flying as in...
But jumping high is a likely possibility.
You got the chicken?
Yes, Susan.
Susan sort of, you know, fluts her wings out as she's set down on the table, and he stares at Susan for a minute, and he goes, I could make something, but I can't promise how effective it's gonna be.
That's
Well, you see,
okay.
this chicken is very important.
She's a guard chicken. We need her to be safe in the soft, squishy parts.
Alright. So here's what we're gonna do. Going to need 5 silver from each of you as down payments on the work I'm going to do. He turns to you, Azrael, and goes, I can have it done by tomorrow, guaranteed. And he turns to you, Vaza, and goes, if you want this done by tomorrow, it's going to be an extra gold piece for the rush.
It must be ready before we leave on our ship.
When do you leave on your ship?
What time do we leave on our ship, Azrael?
Tomorrow.
That was
Tomorrow
tomorrow.
morning.
I didn't
They
hear
said
the
early.
time.
What time was early?
I would assume around sunrise, so earlier
It
than
must
that?
be before daybreak.
He, like, gives just this kind of... Yeah.
I flick bin 2 gold.
You give him 2 gold on top of the 5
gold.
silver.
Yep.
He looks down at the 2 gold and he goes, be here before sunrise. And he's like, you can take the chicken. I got it. And turns back around to begin forging, and you hear the bellows crank and begin going up. On your way back, are you going to search for a gilded acorn?
I was gonna go into the spice and herb shop.
Okay. Make a investigation check. Vaza, if you're going with him, you can also make this check to see if you find something. That is if Azrael tells you to also look for such things.
Well, of course, I'm going to tell her I need to run an errand for our tiny friend.
For FIFA.
Yes.
Ah, yes. What are we looking for?
He needs some sort of rare acorn. That is a
course.
15 on investigation.
Okay.
That could have
That
ended
is
very
good.
badly.
10.
10 out of 15. You both begin looking around the herb shop, and you do see acorns, but you don't find specifically a gilded one. As you're looking around, the shopkeep comes up and asks, fuck, I gotta find a voice for this person. So, is there anything I can help you find today?
Ah, yes, we are looking for a gilded acorn.
Very pricey. Okay, I like it. He goes behind the counter where a box is sitting and pulls the box down and opens it, and you see a singular gilded acorn inside, and he goes, "Now I must say, this is definitely our exclusive collection. But if you have the coin, then you could definitely get your hands on it. You got it, you understood." Talks with a lot of teeth.
So what is the difference? Can you help me compare these two acorns? Like this acorn with the gilded acorn.
He takes the normal acorn from you and he goes, "So you see here, this is just the average everyday acorn. It's got no special quality whatsoever. You could crush it up, turn it into powder, I don't really care. But the gilded," and he like puts his hands around the box like, you know, trying to be all amazing about it. He's like, "This has magical qualities from nature itself. So like you could use this in a potion or a spell or something. I heard druids really like them, but this is some of that like primo shit that we're looking at right here."
Right, but what's the difference? Can you show me the difference between the two?
I can't. I don't do magic. I can't show you magic, but I can tell you it's magic.
Well, how am I gonna know if you can't show me? What if you're trying to sell me just a regular acorn?
I mean, you got a point, but at the same time, it's I don't understand how to explain magic. Like, have you ever seen someone cast a spell, man? You know how there's a lot of like flashing lights and smoke and shit. This does that, but the other one, and it picks up the normal one, and goes, doesn't do that.
Okay. So I hold the other acorn. I'm like, can I see the gilded acorn?
You want to touch the gilded acorn?
I want to see the difference.
Okay,
I
well,
want to see if you're telling me
you
the
can see it in the box. It's right there. I don't.
No. See, you told me it's magic, so I have to feel the magic. I have to feel it.
Make a persuasion check.
I am so glad I asked Azrael to do this.
That is a natural fucking 20.
I heard everything about everything that you do. Here's.
Second baseball of the evening.
Oh my god.
Yes. All right, you can touch it, and he like picks it up very carefully, and he goes, "You can hold it. It's fine." And like very carefully like rests it into your hand. He goes, "Just don't break it, please. Like, just be cool."
I'm holding it up, comparing the two, swapping them between hands, weighing them.
Look any different? Like it's just.
It definitely like it glimmers a bit.
It glimmers a bit.
Yeah.
Like how does it glimmer a bit?
I guess like the light catching it a certain way, and it just sort of like, you know, shining off the edges of the pines coming out.
So if I were to like cover in the regular one in a little powder, would it have that same sort of shimmer?
What kind of powder? Like straight up glitter? Do you have glitter?
I'm Azrael. Of course I have glitter.
You are not about to fucking retcon and metagame that you just have fucking glitter. If Dorcas was like, "Yeah, I have glitter," he's a performer. Makes total fucking sense. He should have glitter.
That as part of the Explorers pack is just a thing of glitter.
No.
So you could always go and get some from Dorcas, but yeah.
You really think this guy's gonna fall for this more than once?
With his persuasion, possibly.
What do I have? Hold on.
Kind of fucking. This is that fuck shit.
I have a tinderbox, so technically I could get some like flint on it.
I don't know that that would shine the same.
I have some oil that could shine it up good.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, so okay, stop. Everyone just fucking stop.
This is so funny.
If your plan now is to cover the normal one in oil to make it shine the same or similar to the gilded one, you are going to both have to make sleight of hand checks, and he's watching you intently, so they better be fucking good.
Well, he can only watch one of us at once.
You're standing right fucking next to each other, hand in hand on this fucking thing. There's no way.
Can you please hold Susan for a moment?
Oh God.
Make a persuasion check, Vaza, and I squander John.
She rolls a 20, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
17! Hang on, do I have anything additional on that? Which chick is it? Perception.
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
Persuasion? I get a -1. Okay, 16.
16? Okay.
It was 16
Let
though.
me fucking roll for him to see if he's okay with this, because he's a chicken, so I'm gonna roll insight. No, it's bad. Sure, he'll hold fucking Susan for you.
Vaza, can you get some of those other acorns for me real quick? Maybe the shopkeeper can actually help you with those.
He's holding Susan.
Yes, but he's got to hold Susan while Susan has to help us pick an acorn.
Show us these other acorns. Susan,
This
use
is the
your
dumbest.
natural talent
This is the dumbest
to sniff
fucking
out
thing.
the good acorn.
The greatest thing ever.
Okay, so I'm not gonna make a roll persuasion again because you've already duped this stupid fuck. Go ahead and roll your sleight of hand to see if you can make this happen.
You've already duped this stupid.
That is a 21.
Of course it is.
It's a dirty 20.
Of course it is.
21.
It's a dirty 20.
Your combined skills. Your half a brain cell combined. You are able to successfully make this one acorn look near similar to the gilded one. And after a few minutes of looking around at the acorns on the shelf, he turns back and goes, "So are you buying it or not?"
I hand him back the now shimmering regular acorn. It's like, I don't think I can afford such a high quality item. I think our druid will just have to go with the regular acorn, and I hand him back the regular one.
He takes back the regular one and sets it in the box, closes the box up, and sets it on the shelf.
That was one of these. It's like, oh, your hands were sweaty.
It's that magic. I
Wait, you just made a point. There's oil on that acorn.
God, are they gonna get
Not put it at all, do you?
He sets it in the box and pulls his hand away. Don't cheer yet. I didn't tell you what he got. And he looks down and he sees something running down his hand. And he stops for a second and he goes, and he looks down at the acorn and he picks it up with the other hand. Well, puts his other hand on it and picks that hand up to see the same substance. And he goes, "You trying to fuck with me?"
Oh no, not at all.
Because this, and he picks up the acorn and he takes like the tail of his shirt and he goes, "Wasn't covered," and he wipes it and it stops glimmering on the side that he wiped. He goes, How about we act like this didn't happen, and you give that back?
I look at Vaza.
I look back at Asriel and I'm like, Susan thanks you for your efforts. I'm just gonna take Susan. We're just gonna see you around. Just
He holds out his one hand, waiting for you to set the gilded acorn in it.
I give him the acorn and the oil. For your troubles.
He takes both and sets the acorn back in the box and the oil on the table, and he goes, "Pleasure doing business with you." And closes the box and turns around and sets it on the shelf. While all of this occurred,
It's so good.
the rest of our group was trying to get a room at an inn.
Do you think we should go visit the quartermaster to get our actual tickets this evening?
I thought he said we had to do it in the morning.
Oh, is that what he said? I wasn't paying attention.
He
I
said,
was checking out that deal from the behind us in line. Did you see that guy? Wow. Wow, wow, wee, wah.
he said that you need to give the ledger to the quartermaster so that way he can get you on a boat tomorrow morning. So he would have to like give you the passage tickets and things like that tonight, so that way he has it prepped for tomorrow. My wording on it was kind of bad, so.
I guess I missed it. Okay. Yeah. It seems like a good idea to go talk to the quartermaster.
Yes, I just want to make sure that our ship has a cool name, you know?
I see what you're doing. I see what Beardy's doing.
Whatever do you mean?
Fucking asshole.
Whatever do you mean?
You guys head towards the docks. Okay, hang on. Before we get to this, I really hate to like delay this any further. I want to put us on a quick break. I very much have to use the bathroom because I drank this entire fucking 24-ounce thing in the time that we've been sitting here. So I really need to use the restroom. We're gonna put this on pause, and then we'll come right back to you guys doing your whole thing.
Soul's gonna Google ship names real quick.
No, I'm not. I got it, dude. I gotta pee so bad. I wish I was kidding. If I was lying and I was like, I just need to look for a ship name, I would be honest. But I have to use the bathroom. So we're gonna go on a short break, everybody. We're gonna be right back after we go on that break. So stay tuned, and yeah, we'll be right back. Alright, everybody, we are back. Sorry about that. Had to happen. Okay, so you guys head out to okay, so Gildea, Dorcas, and FIFA are all headed towards the docks specifically to find the quartermaster.
I'm not.
Oh, did you not? I'm sorry.
Oh.
Okay, you were just gonna go straight to the inn.
Do you know what
Yes.
the come dock is?
I used much of my magic in the last battle. Lost it. I must
Fair.
retire for the evening. Thank you for taking care of this for all of us. Really appreciate it.
Okay, have a good one. Save. Make sure you get a room with a good roof access.
All right.
I'm gonna use your room again, like I normally do.
So the two of you head to the docks. You find a few. So it seems like each dock that you see that has, you know, a major ship or a major So a common thing is kind of like world explanation. A common thing is whenever a company or group or whatever it is takes control of a dock when their ship comes into harbor, is they place a flag or something holding their crest at the end of the dock, so that way it is reminded that is who has that dock. It's just sort of like a, this is mine thing, whatever. You find multiple people or multiple groups, I guess, at their docks, loading things on, a couple quartermasters at desks, writing things in to people visiting, things of that nature. You eventually, as you're headed down, find a dock with a rather small ship sitting at it. It's kind of like a, little single sail boat that has a flag staked that says STC for Southern Trading Company. And as you approach, a quartermaster is sitting at a desk and writing in a large ledger book. That is.
Oh.
Do you want to talk to them, Gildea, or shall I?
I'm okay. I'm good. Well, I'll do the talking.
That sounds like the better option, honestly.
Okay.
But just make sure our ship has a cool name, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Let them know. I'll paint the new name if they want me to.
Oh.
I'll paint it
Okay.
on the side of their ship.
Uh-huh.
I'm quite skilled in the art of graffiti.
Graffiti. Okay. That's good to know.
If you ever need it. It's just a hobby. I picked it up in my teen years.
Aren't you like
I'm
3?
literally 9.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Excuse me, sir. The quartermaster.
Yes. This very large, bulking man. He's got a bandana around his head. He is bald on top, so the bandana isn't really like pushing any hair out of the way. He's wearing very ragged sort of clothes. Definitely ones that you wear. See a lot. No ceremonial, but like working outfit. He looks up to you and goes, "Yes, how may I help you?"
I show him our document, and we have booked passage on this vessel for tomorrow, is when I was told it was leaving.
He takes your document and goes, "Oh, look at that. Probably the last people who's going to get on this ship, honestly, or at least this whole voyage." All right. So, have all of you traveled before on ship? Everyone on this ledger?
I have.
I have as well. There's a chicken who definitely has not.
He allows you. We don't worry too much about livestock. They usually get around to it. I'll say everyone has. None of you are from the capital, or at least none of your backstory said you were. So I would say everyone has traveled on ship before.
Okay, yes, we have all traveled by ship.
Yes. Fantastic. Now, one of the stipulations on traveling on such a small ship, and I, don't mean to be a stickler about such things, I just have to bring it up. We may ask those who, get voyage with us to help out on daily duties. Now, it's nothing major. You won't have to tie lines or work with the sail or anything like that, but it's just mainly like mopping the floor, keeping the place clean. Basic stuff, just as I said, it's a small ship. It's fast. We keep a small crew, partly so we can take people on voyages. That's not a guarantee that we're going to make you guys do that. It's just something to be aware of and to let everyone on this ledger know may happen. But that's only if seas get really rough. It should be a straight shot. Now, he looks at the whole thing and he goes, we are going to unfortunately have to separate you from your cargo. The flagship is the ship that is going to be carrying all the cargo, whereas the smaller ships are going to be carrying passengers. Since that's all we have room for, we already have the small ships filled up with cargo. The flagship, Lightning Breeze, is going to be taking care of the cargo, whereas one of these smaller ships, and he doesn't point at the ship that is directly in dock, he points a little further past, and you see a few small ships that are a couple decks in size, but not massive warships. He goes, those out there are already full with cargo and will be what we take passengers on. You won't have specific quarters. We'll have to find a place for you to sleep, which we'll take care of whenever we get there. We do plan to be totally out of the anchor by the time the sun is fully above the horizon. Is that a problem to any of you or your members?
No. And I should be fine. I'm squinting out at the, ships out there, trying to make out if, there's any names painted on the side.
I'm also trying so hard to see.
Both of you make perception checks to see what you can notice from that far away.
Nope. It's a 5.
Gotcha. What'd you get, Mrs. Nerd? Oh, did we lose audio from you guys? Or is it just me?
I don't hear.
Okay.
I do not hear them either.
So we may have lost audio for you guys.
Take this moment to just.
No?
Oh,
There we
Hello?
go.
Oh, there we go. Awesome.
Sorry.
What was your roll?
11.
11. You both look out, kind of squinting, trying to see. You don't make out any names on the side of the ship that have been painted out.
Damn.
the lightning breeze is pretty good.
Pretty good.
He. Oh, go ahead.
Does it would be really cool if one of the ship we were on, if it had a cool name like Antiloquai.
Yes.
He goes, well, you see, the thing of the matter is so the Lightning Breeze is the flagship of our whole traveling group. So, each ship is named as sort of a subsidiary. So, the way we do it, or at least our captain does, is the ship is labeled per when it enters the fleet. So each ship is like the Lightning Breeze, that's flagship, and then it's the Lightning Breeze's first son, the Lightning Breeze's first daughter, the Lightning Breeze's second son, and it just kind of goes like that. Everyone does it differently. That's the way our fleet does it. Listen, I see the look on your face.
Okay.
It's not what I wanted at all, but I'm just the quartermaster.
Lightning breeze. Lightning breeze. What could I paint that into? Could probably do like a lighting D's.
Is that the thing that you needed that nut or acorn for?
No.
God fucking damn it. He goes, so, do you... Yeah, I'm moving on. I'm not getting these nuts again. He goes, do you happen to have the cargo you plan to put on the ship here with you right now?
No, do we have Simon? Who took Oh, I think Dorcas took Simon.
Did you take Simon?
No.
Oh.
No one
we
said
take
they
Simon?
took Simon.
Simon.
Sure.
Oh, we have Simon. Yes, we could give you
This is
Simon.
our donkey Simon and our cart. We don't have the chicken with us, but I think we would prefer to
The
keep
chicken's
that.
a passenger.
Yeah.
He goes, I gotcha. Bless you.
Thank you.
He goes, well, we'll be sure to try to get Simon in the cart on the flagship tonight then. Just as, you know, getting him prepped and ready. Don't worry, we'll take very good care of him. We have plenty of livestock traveling on the flagship, so shouldn't be a problem. And we will hopefully see you all tomorrow morning before sunrise, because, like I said, we will be out of harbor by the time the sun gets over the horizon.
Just out of curiosity, is there a belonging recovery option if we should miss the ships and our donkey and cart go to, help us without us?
He, at this point, is putting the ledger into the book that he's writing and pulling out actual tickets to give to you guys. And as he's shredding these tickets, he goes, well, we have the ledger with all the information on it. So on the off chance, let's say one of you or all of you does not make your ship tomorrow, which has happened before, whenever it comes time to call for cargo to figure out who put what on our ship, when no one comes to retrieve, and he looks at the ledger again and goes, Simon, he goes, we will be able to put him in, some form of stable or something. We will write that down, and whenever you all do make it across and do make it to where you're at, we will, of course, we do have our own building in Eastwatch, so you will have to go to that building, find out where we put him. You will probably have to pay a stabling fee because we put him in a stable, and then go get him yourself.
Good. Okay. Good. That is very good to know that, he'll be tied to, that Simon will be tied to a peg and taken good care of.
I hate this so much. That's fucking brilliant.
Yes, we take very good care of our
It
animals.
It gets cold at sea. Do we need to get Simon like a blanket or like a cowl?
I knew where you were going. I knew where you were fucking going with it.
I'm gonna before we go, can I ask just one more question?
Sure.
Do any passengers happen to bring any other passengers happen to be bringing like a rooster, a particularly like cute rooster?
Oh my god.
Now, I'm not the kind of person to assume anything, but I feel like I have to ask. Are you trying to fuck a rooster?
No, it's not for me. I'm trying to set up a friend.
Is your friend
thank you
trying
for
to
those
fuck a rooster?
I don't know, she might be. I'm not going to I'm not gonna tell her what she has to do and what she hasn't to do. If you don't know, that's fine.
Because I can check the ledger, and starts like looking down in his book, like tracing through the lines. He goes, mainly cargo.
No, it's fine. You don't have to look. We'll just take the tickets and go.
Yeah, okay. He hands you the torn off tickets and goes, if I find out that there's a rooster on by morning, I'll let you know, but,
That sounds lovely. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Before we go, I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals and just talk to Simon for a second. Hey, Simon, old buddy, old pal. You're gonna go with these friends. Is that okay with you?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely amazing, brother. It's totally fine.
Wait, you're Australian?
What's Australia?
Ah, it's just a place. I don't know. Gosh, I can't believe we've never talked before. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I mean, you guys let me alone with some pretty weird people, I'm not gonna lie, but like, these guys seem pretty alright. I've never been on a ship before, it should be pretty fucking awesome.
Oh my gosh, yes. You're going to change my accent. It's going to be very infectious, honestly.
You're already doing it, see, brother? You got me.
Wow, it's because I'm speaking with animals. It's like I'm kind of like absorbing.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
accent.
You get an accent, man. It's great.
Well, okay. Do you need anything before we say goodbye for 2 months? I'm going to miss you.
Boy, for 2 months, I thought you were gonna be on the ship.
Oh yeah, we'll be on a different ship.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. I can't wait to see that.
I can't wait to see you,
Alright.
Brew.
Sounds fantastic.
Great, yeah. We'll see you back when we're back on land, when we're beach days.
Alright, sounds awesome.
Great.
G'day.
Hey, try to get some shrimp for you there on the bar beat.
I'll do my best. I don't know what they're gonna feed me. I've never had shrimp. I'm gonna be honest. I mostly eat like pellets and shit.
Donkeys eat shrimp.
I don't know if they do, but if they try to feed to me, I'll definitely try it.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Guard the stuff, Simon. And have fun.
Yeah. All right. Awesome.
I'm gonna walk over and just like.
What does this sound like to the normal person?
Everybody else just sounds like hee haw, ha, ha, Australia, ha.
Australia. Man, you ever been to Australia? Fuck. Shit, man. Oh, fuck.
Well, that was quite educational. G'day, did you know that Simon was, such a nice donkey?
I mean, I guessed that he was. You know, since he doesn't nip at anyone or kick
He's
anyone.
really nice. He did say we leave him with some weird people, and I think that we maybe need to think about that further on. Maybe after the 2 months where we're leaving him with some weird people. But
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Is this everything you guys want to do here? I don't want to cut anybody short.
Yeah, I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
just gonna pat Simon. and
before we
start
get, no, I'm just kidding.
No. All right. Dorcas, you've been sitting on the back burner for a minute. So you go
walking not over there.
No.
you go walking around, and you do eventually find an inn relatively close to the docks, but still working its way towards the city center of Anchor's Rest. It's, nothing incredibly fancy like the inn at the Upper District, basically hotel at the Upper District, in the Citadel, but it is definitely a nicer place than some of the ones you see as you're walking around. You head in. It's very lively. Late night, a lot of people are in there drinking. There's people walking around, barmaids trying to serve as many people as possible. And yeah, it's just a very lively place that you walk into.
Okay. I'm gonna go sit down at the bar, and when someone, the barkeep looks at me, I just, tell them, need a hot meal and a room for the night.
He walks up and he goes, I can do that for you. He goes, the special tonight is duck. Is that a problem, or you want to look at an actual menu?
That is perfectly fine, thank you.
Fantastic. He waves, and you see someone through a serving window give a thumbs up and start working. He goes, as for the room, that's going to be 2 silver, just for the single room. It is on the 2nd floor. Though, I will say, mind the stairs. Somebody fell down them the other day and broke them. They're you know, it's a pain in the ass. Just be mindful when you walk up there.
Of course. Is the second floor the top floor of this establishment?
No, there's a third floor. It's where I and the other workers reside. We have kind of like our own communal living up there. But the second floor is where we keep residents.
Is there perhaps a ladder outside on a balcony outside my window that someone could gain roof access should they want it?
We've got a ladder that does like lay in the back for whenever we need to do roof repair. Is there a specific reason you're trying to get to the roof?
Yeah, it's a goblin who's traveling with me. He likes to be on the roof.
Okay. Yeah, that should be fine. Shouldn't be an issue. I mean, it's too still silver to stay. I'll just charge you like an extra copper because he's not really using a room. He's just being up there. But yeah, that should be fine.
That's more than fair, thank you.
Yeah. Eventually, a person comes out and does set the duck in front of you. He goes, so, if I give you entirely honest, I haven't seen you around here before. I try to know everybody in the area. Not to sound like a jerk, but who are you? What you doing here? Not, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean I'm trying to, you know.
No offense taken. My name is Dorcas. I am agent of the Queen. My companions and I are headed to Talbot on urgent matter.
And Talbot, huh?
Aye.
Has you ever been that way before?
Much of my travels were just traveling between mages' schools, so not really.
No? As well, here's the thing. I got a couple guys who go there every now and again. They take, like, you know, my regulars who stay on ships and stuff come in here. Listen, I'm not trying to tell you anything specific, but I hear a lot of rumors about this thing called the Whispers. It's supposed to be something that people can catch out there. And again, I don't know too much about it, but just like, if you can ask around about it, don't pry in anyone's life. But apparently, it's pretty bad.
There's someone specific that you're concerned for?
No, I try to warn people because, like I said, I got regulars who come in here and they talk about like, oh, you know, I had one guy come in the other night. He said that a buddy of his out there caught the Whispers, and I don't know exactly what that means. I've never been there. I never had experience, but it's definitely something to look out for if it's something they talk about regularly.
This is an illness that people are catching?
According to what I hear.
Well, I will take your words into consideration, and I thank you for them.
Absolutely. I'm always happy to help. Taking a minute to step away, back, you know, behind the DM screen. That's where you're from, correct?
Me?
Yeah. Telbach, isn't that where you're from?
That's a good question.
I'm pretty sure it is. I don't know where I would find it. It might be in our personal chat.
Yeah, here we go. Yes, that is where I'm from.
Okay. Cool. I just wanted to be 100% sure. Now, it's totally fine if you told him that's not where you're from. I have no problem with that whatsoever. However, Whispers would be something you know about. So, as a sort of background thing, Whispers appears to be, as something you've seen, a mental illness. It is a form of insanity that a lot of people, not a lot of people, but the occasional person in the Telbach city proper come down with. At first, it just starts as they think they heard someone say something when nothing actually happened, you know, like a ghost voice, and then they go, "What'd you say?" Never actually saying anything. And then eventually, after it's, you know, gone on for so long, it begins that they start talking to themselves. They get to a point where they're just sitting there and, you know, they're shaking and they can't quite make sense of what is going on, but you hear them talking to something as if they're responding, because they'll talk and then they'll stop and then they'll talk and they'll stop, but they do it very quietly to themselves, which is why everyone calls it whispers. And so that is something that you have witnessed. Most people, when they see someone with whispers, they just go, steer clear of that guy. Like, let him do his thing, walk away from him. Don't worry about it. But that is something you would know about.
There's no cure for this, I'm assuming.
There's been the occasional person who has suggested that they got it and then got out of it, but no one knows if it's placebo effect and being like, you just think you got whispers when in reality you heard something and couldn't figure out what it was. But that's what people chalk it up to. But a few people have claimed, like, I thought I was getting the whispers because I was hearing things, but no, I'm fine.
I see. Alright.
Goddamn, that's but yeah, so he goes, well, as long as you look out for yourself, that is fantastic. I will say, oh, go ahead.
Have you by chance seen, you said you have quite a few regulars here and you try to know everyone.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there are people who travel between here and Hellblock on a fairly regular basis.
Oh, traders, some military people who are just on rounds, things like that, yeah.
You ever see any of my kind come through here from there?
As in, like, dragonborns?
Aye.
I mean, one or two, maybe.
Thank you very much.
Oh, absolutely. I'll say it's about this time that everyone sort of reconvenes. I'll say that FIFO and Gade, you probably knew where Dorcas had walked into, whereas he went to the inn and then you all, like, you bailed out. Azrael and Vaza, I say you meet up with FIFA and Gildea as you're walking around, and, you know, they lead you to where this inn is, and you are all, I would say, sitting at the bar as Dorcas is sort of finishing up his meal, and, you know, lively bunch going around.
I'm gonna mention that.
Hmm?
Okay, Patty.
Oh, I was gonna say I mentioned to FIFA. So this gilded acorn that you.
Oh yes,
were-
did you have any luck?
Not quite. It seems this is a little more rare than I had anticipated. So it may take a little bit of time to procure this for you.
Oh yes, don't even stress too much about it. It's just for the spell that I was like thinking about dabbling in, but I wasn't even sure if I even really wanted to do it. I just also thought like a gold acorn would look really dope as shit on my staff, you know?
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted?
Vaza, I talked to Simon. He's cool as hell.
Yeah?
Yeah! He's rad, man. He's so
Totally.
chill. He's so chill. He's like the chillinest villain.
I knew you were gonna fucking do it.
Ever.
The moment I heard you say
Where
chill,
is
I
he?
knew you were gonna do it.
Oh, they put him on the boat. He's going to be on a different boat than us for the journey, but
Oh, I'm gonna miss that ass.
I know.
Ooh fucking woo? Taken out of context. Ooh fucking woo?
That's Australia's ass.
That is he Australia's ass.
Captain Australia. Alright. Anyway.
Somebody called Duck.
What?
I think we're getting close.
So you guys, I would say if no one has any other thing they wanted to like discuss. Those of you who are gonna get a room and stay at the inn need to fork up 2 silver, and then your night will go on. You will all earn the effects of a long rest. For you casters, you get that back. Anyone missing health points, you get those back. And wake up in the morning. Y'all ready for a whole lot of exposition for your travels?
So freaking ready.
Okay. So, once upon a time, no, I'm kidding. The night goes on, and eventually you all wake. Luckily, before morning, I'll say that you guys probably gave a wake up call to the innkeep, so that way he could eventually get you guys. You head down to the harbor where all
Me and Asriel gone to go pick up our stuff.
Yes! Oh my god, thank you so much for reminding me. So, you guys go, and... Okay. I'll say because of your 2 gold pieces, Azrael, he does not make you guys pay for anything further. However, you do receive your coin. Now, your coin is in the shape of a star. It is not large, so you're not going to see like a big thing here. It is small. Like, it definitely looks just like a brooch on your lapel, essentially. As well with that, they do succeed in making a form of chicken armor. Now, it is essentially 2 plates that you put over Susan's head and strap to each other behind her wings. As basically the most I'll say they were able to successfully make.
And how much defense will this give Susan?
It is plate armor, so it is going to give her a +2 to defense. I'll have to make a note of that.
Oh, I have. Don't worry.
Oh, I'm sure you have, but I'll make my own. Okay.
I'm so excited for our first combat with Susan. I really hope we get boarded by pirates sometime in this 2 months. Oh my gosh. Next we gotta get, like, in the next town we gotta get Susan a sword. Or maybe like a magic wand.
Okay.
Okay. I have daggers, extra daggers.
Show me the hand a chicken will hold a dagger with. And don't say its foot.
I don't believe it. I believe it has a beak.
Not a big one, though.
I'm done with this. So.
Okay, Snow, what we do is we get like a helmet, right? And we give like a unicorn.
Yes.
This is ridiculous. You guys
The
are
dagger
And
so...
then
would
Susan
be-
can like just fight like this.
You have to get like a needle on it, not a dagger. The dagger would.
Dagger might be a little bit heavy.
It might be heavy. Okay.
I'm just picturing Susan dragging her head along the ground and she's dead.
This poor chicken. I also I looked how long chickens live. Susan might outlive FIFA.
Wow.
God damn it. So, you guys go and retrieve your items. And again, he does not make you pay anything more. You gave him 2 gold, and he was more than happy with that and chose to not charge you guys anything more for his services. You all head down to the docks and see a plethora of people loading onto boats, cargo getting moved, things just... It is all happening now. As you approach the quartermaster that you had originally seen the night before, he gets you all into a rowboat, and you all head out and are put onto one of the smaller ships. The second son.
Okay.
You are all loaded onto the
I'd say
ship.
that boat is infamous.
I knew you were gonna fucking say it. I knew the joke. At the moment I said second son, my brain went, they're gonna make an infamous joke. you're all loaded onto the ship, and they give you a tour, explain like, the lower deck has the most cargo in it, please don't go down there. The second deck has a bit of cargo, there's some floor sleeping space, but try not to take up too much room if you do it, and if you choose to sleep on the top deck, that's totally fine. They get everyone ready, explain how long the voyage is going to take, the fact that they are going to have to make a stop halfway because they have to trade with another ship that is coming the opposite direction. Just a few supplies, nothing major. But as things settle out, this ship moves out of the anchor. As you are all headed through the harbor and hit the anchor wall, because of the size of the ship, you are towered and like overseen by massive warships. And when you look at them, they look very old, as if they have been there far too long. Some of them don't even have sails on their masts anymore. They look as though they should have been sunk a long time ago, but they are all fastened together by chains. As you approach the center two ships, a very loud horn is blared, and these two ships are pulled apart by massive chains connecting to the rest of this wall of ships. Once eventually enough room is made, you all sail through, and as you sail through and turn around, the two ships then pull each other back together with the chains that is connecting them. You head out, and after a few minutes, the ship meets up with the rest of the fleet that was already waiting outside. There are 4 other small ships, and then the large flagship, which is leading all of you. And you begin your voyage. Your time at sea isn't incredibly hard. It is very fair winds, the seas don't get too rough, and you all are occasionally asked to, swab the deck, maybe clean up some messes, take care of shifting some weight around when a wave hits a little too hard, whatever it is. Basic stuff that wouldn't require you to have seafaring experience. You are all, I would say, about a month and a half into your journey. So you're, about halfway through. Again, it's supposed to take about 2.5 months. You're getting there quick. And it is late. There was a storm spotted off to the one side, and every ship has stopped in an attempt to make sure that they do not hit the storm in the night. So you are all anchored, sitting just in open ocean. What are you all doing now that you've been on this ship for about a month and a half to pass your usual time late at night?
Are
gonna
there
go
any
with
other
the-
roosters on the ship?
There are no other roosters on this ship.
Son of a...
Go ahead, Dorcas.
I'm gonna go over to Gilday and say, fancy a game of chance?
Maybe. What game?
Very well. I pull out like 3, I don't know, like small bowls,
Okay.
and then take out just a small metal object. About 20 sides on it. It's nothing. And I'm going to put it under one of the bowls and say, simply follow where the little bulbul is, and don't take your eye off of it. If you can guess correctly where it is, then you win.
Okay. What do I win?
What?
When I win.
What do you want?
I don't know. What indeed would I want from a wizard? Do you think you can enchant any of my armor? A thing you know how to do?
I don't know. Is it a thing I know how to do, Soul?
Is that a thing you know how to do? We shall consult the book.
The mighty text.
Wizards.
Do the texts have any morphing abilities?
What kind of wizard are you?
Like what school?
Yeah.
Evocation?
You're an evocation wizard? Interesting. Okay. Where's enchantment? Pardon me while I look at things. There is a specific school of enchantment, so I'm going to say you cannot.
Okay. Not even just something that's fairly trivial?
I'm gonna say no.
Like I can make her armor sparkly?
You could use
Dare.
you could do prestidigitation to do that temporarily, but
Okay.
Don't you fucking dare.
I'm afraid that enchantment is not really my strong suit. How about this? If you win, you may either make a choice of Google, or you may choose your prize at a later date as a form of surprise for me. And if I win, then you and I and whoever else you would like to accompany us on this must actually do something that doesn't involve you bashing someone's skull in.
Such as.
That'll be your surprise now, won't it?
Fine.
Ah, very well.
so how are you going to go about this cup game then?
So I'm going to go about this cup game. So it's gonna. I'm going to be, moving them all about, and this will take some sleight of hand on my part because I'm planning to move the real one out of a cup and put a illusion of one under the one that she's not following.
Okay. So I'll say yes, you'll make a sleight of hand. And then
Alright. Oh, it's not bad. Okay. 14 for that.
okay, and then Gildea, you'll roll perception to see if you can beat that 14.
11.
So I'll say that Dorcas succeeds in tricking you of which cup has the little bauble under it.
Would you like to go best 2 out of 3?
Yes.
Very well.
Go ahead and roll your rolls
This
again.
time I don't do anything unscrupulous,
Okay.
other than just move them quickly. Do you
Okay.
still want a roll of some kind? Maybe just her perception.
Let me think here. She's definitely gonna roll perception.
I could do a performance, but that doesn't really...
Or Dex.
I've got an idea of how to do this, and you guys tell me if it's bad, but I have an idea. Okay?
Okay.
You got 3 cups, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you would both roll a d6. 1 and 2 is cup 1, 3 and 4 is cup 2, 5 and 6 is cup 3. And depending on what each of you you'll roll a d6, and whatever you get, that's the one it's in. Like in the line, like 1, 2, 3. and then Gildea, you'll roll the d6, and whatever you get is the one you guessed.
Oh, okay.
I'm good with that.
Me too.
Okay.
All right. 5 or 6.
So 3.
Yes, it's in cup 3.
Okay.
Oh, I did not get it.
All right. So you successfully fooled Gildea again, and won your best 2 out of 3.
So, what I think we should do when we get to land is, I mean, I don't know how, there's probably going to be a little bit of downtime, right? So we can do something other than sparring, which is the only thing you say you enjoy, which I don't believe.
I'm playing this stupid game with you right now.
Yes, well, you don't really seem to be enjoying it now, do you? Of course, maybe that's just because you lost, because I don't think you really care for that now. Anyway,
Who does?
well, some people don't really care as much as you do. But I was wondering if your skill of movement is as good as it is during battle. So perhaps when we reach town, you and I might go somewhere where we might have a dance, you and I. I promise I'd not have 2 left feet. And really, you don't have a choice in this matter since you lost the wager.
Amazing. What about the rest of y'all? You guys doing anything interesting? Have any ideas?
I've been teaching Susan how to wear her armor effectively.
Love it.
I feel like both of us have been doing that.
I love it.
Vanessa and I have actually formed a bond over teaching Susan battle tactics.
Yeah.
I love that
love-
Susan is gonna get a level in Rogue and Fighter at the end of this 2 months.
I'm gonna have to roll up a chicken.
A Rogue Fighter chicken.
A rogue fighter chicken.
God damn it.
And obviously FIFA has had to translate for us using animal speak the entire
Guys,
time.
I'm so tired of translating for you.
Can you
You have
teach
to do
Susan common?
All day, every day. Susan has a pretty good understanding of what you're saying. She's getting there. Obviously, she doesn't have the vocal cords to communicate back.
So if you guys, Azrael, you say you guys have like built a bond over doing this. Do you guys like share anything about? You don't have to do a whole scene if you don't want to, but like, do you guys share anything about your personal lives? Like, do you get like, because both of you are very closed off people who don't share much about themselves. Do you guys open up at all to each other? Like, just curious.
I definitely don't think Azrael is to that point.
No, I think that we've probably learned more about like our sneaky and battle tactics from doing this with Susan, but not really personal.
I will say, out of learning battle tactics and things with Azrael and like doing this back and forth of like, oh, this is what I think would really work. Oh, this is what I think would really work, and all this stuff. Is Vaza more trusting to turn her back to Azrael now?
Not fully. He's still tricksty.
But is more willing to if the need arose?
Yes.
Okay. Because that's one of the main things that you're always like, I don't like turning my back to people. So I was just
Yeah,
curious
no,
of like
that-
if
that
that
helped.
altered it anyway.
Yeah, I think there would be significant enough to say that like if I absolutely had to,
I got you.
I would. Yeah.
Okay. FIFA, you'd said that you were doing some like translating for them. Do you do anything
Yeah,
else?
who's the crew member in charge of like the crow's nest area?
I don't remember the exact name of what that position is called, but I would say that you are able to. Do you go up to the crow's nest to find them, or do you look for someone?
Every now and again, especially at night when like the stars are in the sky, I feel like FIFA is like especially like within the first week, FIFA's probably like, oh yeah, I'm going up there to where I can get closest to the stars.
I got you. So yeah, you
And then we kind of like either we vibe or they hate me so much. There's no in between.
roll a charisma check to see how well you've been bonding with this person. What'd you get?
18.
That's good. So I'll say after dealing with some translation things for Vaza and Azriel, you climb up to the top of the crow's nest, and the person who's typically up there at night looks over and sees you sort of like walking along the mast to get there, and he goes, "FIFA, good evening."
Ah! Oh, hi, Mark. How's it going?
He goes, "Oh, well, there's been some fog rolling in, but it's a pretty clear night, I'd say."
Oh, well, it's a good thing I got you a favorite. And I pull out I pull out my cup, which I've fashioned to get a lid over it, and I like open up the lid, and it's like steaming up. I was like, I went into the cocoa stores again and made you some hot cocoa.
He takes it from you really eagerly, and he goes, "You know, we don't get many goblins traveling on these voyages, but I gotta say, you've definitely set the bar." And he sips from the cup.
Oh, well, what can I say? What can I say? Oh, it should be a wonderful night. Oh, look, there's one of my favorite constellations up there. Wow.
He looks up. He looks up and starts like looking in the direction you're pointing, smiling. Sorry.
It's in the shape of like a healer, a very famous healer. The great hero Antiloquy is up there, always watching over.
He goes, "You know, I've grown very fond of the stars ever since I had to be on the crow's nest. It's usually silent most nights, so I stare up and I look at everything. But,
Ooh, what? I'd love to know what constellations you see up there.
oh, I see a lot, but, FIFA, you're big on stars. I've been
They're
noticing...
kind of my thing.
I've been noticing something the past couple nights, and I'm really curious about it. Maybe you can set me straight." And he kind of like looks around, and he goes, "So if Antiloqui's there," and he points, and he turns in another direction, and he goes, "And the southern bright is there," and he like points at another small constellation that you've seen before. He goes, "The Shea Wolf constellation is missing," and points to like an empty space in the sky where there should be a constellation.
Ah.
And he goes, "I don't know if it's cloud coverage, but I've noticed it once or twice while coming out here. And I think I'm looking in the right place."
Yes. It's the Shea Wolf constellation. You look 88 degrees to the north, and it's right there. Normally.
And he nods, he goes, "Not sure. Then again, I'm not any sort of scientist or anything. I don't know too much about the night sky other than what I see here."
Do I know that if this is like a normal thing for that constellation to be gone?
You as a star druid know that that constellation is one of, like, so constellations do fade in and out of, you know, how well you see them. This is one of those few that is almost always seen.
Okay.
It's rare for it to not be seen in the night sky. And he's saying he's been noticing it pretty frequently the past couple nights. But you two sit there and you share back and forth about your like, you know, the constellations you like and the ones you see and things of that sort. And as you're up there, he turns to look at you, and you see his smile sort of drop to a frown for a second. And he goes, "Is that a trick of the light?" And sort of stands up out of like this little... He's got like a little stool he's been sitting on with his feet up on the railing. And he stands up off the stool, and he points down towards the water. And you see like a glint of red light coming across the water. And he goes, "You see that there?"
Yeah, what is that?
And he looks closer, and he looks down and he goes to yell something down to the people on the deck below. And as he's about to yell, you are all going to make a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh.
A saving throw, you say? That is a 21.
All right.
17.
Uh-oh.
3.
It's a 1, baby.
Oh, shit.
And I'm really high up right now, canonically.
7.
7. Dork Singledea, from the little table. Will you guys say you're probably below decks doing what you're doing? This little game,
Sure.
probably using a box as like your table. You both are quite suddenly thrown from your feet, and a few boxes that are loose are tossed aside next to you. You feel the whole ship sort of shift on its one side. Vaza, you stumble, and what was the number you got? I'm sorry.
17.
17. You stumble, but you're able to sort of catch yourself on the railing on the side of the ship. Azrael, you are perfectly fine. You keep your balance well enough to there where you can actually grab Susan from being knocked away. FIFA, the shockwave hits, and you stumble, and you feel yourself go, feet over head, back over the railing. And I rolled something here, and as you sort of feel air take all of your weight, you hear your name shouted, and you are stopped hanging upside down as Mark has grabbed your foot, and he is not fully on the crow's nest. He is holding on to like the railing of it and holding you, and you are both sort of dangling there off the side. But he has caught you.
Mark, if you don't drop me, I promise to learn your real name.
What has essentially happened is a sudden boom, as a shockwave has hit the side of the ship, and the whole thing has turned on its side. It does not fully capsize, but it turns enough to where some water is kicked up from a wave and goes on to the deck and comes back to its normal side. You hear a horn blare in the distance, but you can't see exactly where it comes from. FIFA, from your hanging state, and Azrael from being, centered at where you're at, you both look off into the distance, and FIFA, where you had seen that little red light glinting, there is now a enormous fire erupting on the surface of the water as one of the smaller trade ships has been fully set ablaze. It is far enough to the point where, you can't see people running across it, but you still felt the shockwave from it hit the ship. Horns begin blaring and bells begin sounding. Dork Singledea, what do you do?
I assume we're just gonna rush up onto the main deck.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming that we're not landed
Absolutely. The two of you go rushing up to the main deck. There are already a bunch of people getting woken up from their sleep, rushing around, trying to tie down the things that have fallen, some running up to the top deck to also see what has happened. And you see this just enormous fire off in the distance, and then suddenly another loud boom, and there is no shockwave. The ship does shake a little bit, but nothing that throws it as much as this last one did. And further off behind the ship that you are all on, another enormous fire begins erupting through the fog of the water. There is shouting and screaming that you can hear from these other ships. And FIFA, make a perception check.
Okay. 15?
You are upside down, being able to see all of the deck at once as you're up from the crow's nest. Everyone else is looking off to mainly one side of the ship, trying to figure out what is going on, sailors and your party alike. But you notice on the other side of the ship, you see what looks like a person crawl up from the water and over the side. And then another, and another, and another, to the point where there are many figures crawling onto the ship.
Sailing master, get us out of here!
You shout, and one of the sailors looks up at you and sees you and turns and now sees what is about 10 and gaining in number people rushing across the deck at him. He yells, and the other sailors turn around and begin, attempting to defend themselves, but they have little to no weapons on board. Then, as this sort of whole thing happens, FIFA, you hear like a sort of thud, and when you look up, Mark is now being held by one of these things, and you see it is not as person-like as you thought. You see what looks like I don't know how great to describe it. A scaly figure with a sort of webbed fins coming off the side of its face and dark black eyes, very wet with no hair, is holding Mark by his hand and is pulling him up towards him. And as you're starting to get closer, as this thing is pulling you up, you realize that its face is not smooth and it is not quite scaled either. There are scales that have chipped off its face. They look somewhat decayed. There are sunken-in cheeks. The eyes, even though they're black, are almost bloodshot with veins coming from them. You've never seen anything like it. All of you down on the deck now see sailors trying to fight off these things as they start swarming the ship. And another loud boom as another fire erupts in the distance. And what do you all do?
I yell to Vaza, grab Susan's armor!
Throw Susan's armor over to Azriel so that he can get it onto Susan, and then I'm gonna look around for FIFA because, like, next to Susan, he's like my little guy.
Right.
It's dark, right? Like it's night.
It is dark, yes.
Then I'm gonna cast Dancing Lights.
All right. That you don't have to roll or anything for that, correct?
Nope.
Okay. You cast Dancing Lights across the deck of the ship, and it lights up very bright to the point where, a couple people actually wince from the light going past them. And now all of you see similar things to what I described to FIFA. These humanoid figures that have scaly, wet skin that are decayed and, scales are missing in certain places, bloodshot eyes. They look ravenous with what they're doing, and they are trying to subdue the sailors around all of you.
I'm gonna say,
Weapon.
Mark, let's go! And I'm gonna thorn whip the mast, like where we would normally stand next to the crow's nest.
Mm-hmm.
And with thorn whip, I can pull somebody 10 feet closer to me. Am I able to use that to instead pull myself up onto the mast? That way I can face this thing a little bit better.
Yeah, I'll say make an acrobatics check to make sure you land right.
Okay. 12?
Yeah, I will say you do stumble, but you are on top of this section of mast.
I kind of stumble for a little bit, and then I say, "Come at me, you great scaly bitch!" and I crack the thorn whip.
Gildea, you say you're drawing your weapon?
Yeah.
Okay. So, FIFA, when you say that and you crack the whip, the fish-like thing turns and looks at you, and you see a very, grotesque smile stretch across its face, and it holds up Mark by the hand and just goes, and lets go. And Mark falls, and there's a loud scream as he slams down on the deck below.
I don't have time to try to thorn whip him.
How far away is this from me?
Getting close. Because he's fallen down.
He's getting closer.
Is it possible for me to use Mage Hand to slow his fall?
Mage Hand can only hold 5 pounds.
Is that all it is?
I believe so. Am I incorrect in that?
What about using a gust of wind in the opposite direction?
That could do it if you rolled high enough.
Okie dokie. What am I rolling, an Arcana or?
Yeah, we'll say Arcana.
Okay, that is that's a 12.
I will say there is still a loud thud when he hits the ground. However, he seemed to slow just before he reached the deck. Ever so slightly, but he did seem to slow.
Is he still within 60 feet of me? How high is his max?
That's a great question. I'm gonna have to look that up. What is the average height of a mast? Ah. Okay. Yeah.
Can I use my bonus action to say, Mark, buddy, are you okay? And cast Healing Word on him?
Yes, you
That way
can.
he's at least stable, and he heals 4 points.
Yeah, I'll give you that then.
Mark, buddy, you okay?
He does not respond. But you do cast that on him, and you can know from what you gave that he is stable.
Good talk, buddy.
Is how many of these things are on the ship with us now?
Uh,
A lot.
10 and gaining more.
Okay.
Are we being attacked by the Flapplesauce gang?
Fucking Christ.
Not again! I stole their sauce 1 time. I never went back to that orchard.
All of you on the deck make strength saves.
Strength.
Yep.
Ooh. That's a 6.
10.
6, 10,
Oh.
1.
$22.
22.
22.
Azrael, Vaza, and Dorcas.
Oh no.
Azrael, you feel your arms get pulled back behind you as you are suddenly grappled from behind. Vaza, you stumble forward a little bit as you are pushed and held. Your arms, pulled close to your torso. Dorcas, you are thrown fully to the ground on your face as something jumps on your back and pushes you to the ground, holding you down. Gildea, you feel something hit you in the back, and you are quick enough to throw it over your shoulder as you see the rest of your friends next to you thrown to the ground. And as you see this and look around, you realize that rather than being killed, most of the people on the deck are being pushed to the ground rather than, cut open. And a very loud voice above all of the shouting and things go, "If you knew what was good for you, you'd stow your weapons now." And you turn to look, and up where the helm is a large, dark figure, sort of yelling out amongst the deck. And what will you choose to do?
What can we see about him?
For now, it's just a dark shadow. You can't quite see who is up there. The dancing lights went kind of across the deck as you're all standing on, not the raised up section.
Are you asking what any of us do, or just her specifically?
Yeah, 3 of you are currently subdued. FIFA is up squaring off with the person in the crow's nest. Gildea, you were the one who was able to keep yourself,
How far away is?
How far away is he from you?
Yeah.
I'd say he's about 20, 25 feet since he's up on another level.
Does FIFA have a better view of him?
I'll say FIFA can see this from above, but still, it's a dark shadow for him.
I'm also probably pretty focused on this guy right in front of me. I don't want to like take my eyes off of him, just in case he lunges. They lunge.
Well. So he said stow your weapons, right?
Yeah, if you knew what was good for you, you'd stow your weapons now.
What if I don't know what's good for me?
Are we fighting down there, or are we surrendering? I can't.
Who the heck are you?
It's me, FIFA.
Not you, FIFA.
You're all sort of shouting this back and forth, and this shadow figure begins walking down the stairs closest to you, Gildea. I'll say you're kind of like at the bottom of these steps on the deck. And as he approaches, you begin to fully see him. He looks much like these fish people that you've already seen before. Scaly, doesn't have any hair, bloodshot eyes. He seems to be, when you look at him, and you look at him closely, his scales that are falling off, there seems to be rotted skin underneath. Almost as like he's been buried for a long time. As he takes steps, water sort of sloshes out of like a hole in his cheek and out of his coat that he's wearing. He's wearing a very large captain's coat that is adorned with medals. He has a large hat that is feathered. He has more than one sword at his side, as he actually has a cane that he's using to walk down these steps. And he gets close to you and smiles and goes, "Well, I'd say with the way you're standing with this ship, you would be the captain. Would I be correct?"
Yes.
He gives it a sigh and goes,
You
"Turn."
want me to bluff for that?
Go ahead, yeah, roll for it. To see how confident you are in what you say.
You saw that 20?
I did.
Alright, he gives you a very large, not so tooth-filled smile. And when he smiles, you see the teeth that he has are sharp like shark teeth. And he goes, "Terrific." He turns and he goes, "Boys! Ensure none of them interrupt our conversation." And you see as these fish people begin to subdue the rest of them, and this man looks up and he goes, "Now you up there, I don't want you to fall, so why don't you lower yourself down all nice for us?"
I'm good right here, thanks.
He nods and goes,
How many of them are now, like, in close proximity to me?
from your grounded position as you look around, I would say in immediate proximity of you, there are, I would say, the original 10 that boarded the ship, but you can't see any more around because you're kind of on the ground, like you're on the floor.
Okay.
But he...
Can I
sorry.
cast a message to Gildea?
Sure.
Okay. So in your mind, you hear me say that I can do something about the ones that are near me, but I don't know if that'll be help. So if you need it, just let me know.
And I can respond back,
You
right?
you can respond back, but you don't have to do it immediately. So like,
Okay.
it could be a no.
A
Yeah.
tiny little nod,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. As you send this message, the sort of lead one is looking up at FIFA and goes, "Very well. Gentlemen, would you please keep yourselves at a safe pace? I don't want anyone to get hurt, of course, more than I already have." And he turns and gestures towards the fires out at sea. He goes, "Captain, You see, and he, sort of limps over to you with his cane. He goes, I am afraid, and he gets very close to you. He goes, I'm looking for a certain individual, and you may be the only one who can tell me where they are. And that is where I'm going to end tonight's session.
God damn it, Soul! Damn it, Soul!
I knew
it was coming.
I knew the cliffhanger was coming. It was too good.
We haven't had a damn it soul since the last two. We didn't.
That's
get
why I had to do it to you. Alright. We are going to end that session here. I know we usually go for about 3 hours, guys, but we did start a little later, so I don't want anyone to drive themselves way over the time that we normally end. Yeah. We should... Now, I'm going to ask this now. We should be good to come back in 2 weeks, I think. Everyone? Seeming like the right thing for right now. I know every time I promise it, we don't end up doing it. So I'm not going to promise anything.
Let me look.
Okay.
Let me just do a quick glance-a-roo.
Yeah, I know Mystic had said that later on next month there are some conflicting schedules, which is totally fine. We'll deal with that when it comes. But for right now, I think we're okay to keep a relatively normal schedule.
That looks okay.
And
Jumping
okay
out
for
at
me?
least, that looks cool.
Yeah. Beardy's got this face. Okay. Well, if we're good, we're good. If not, we'll do something else. We usually do something else. But it would be awesome if we can be back here in 2 weeks. Hopefully we can. If we can't, I'm sorry, but hopefully we can. That's all I got. Do you guys have anything you want to plug or talk about? You should definitely check out their streams. If you don't, you should check out those streams. They are incredible people.
Always keep your drivers updated.
Your drivers updated.
Yeah, you should take that advice, Boo.
Ooh.
Making sure Halo is updated is not the same as your drivers.
It might as well be Boo. You wouldn't let me get away with that, and you fucking know it.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, you should definitely check out those people below me. If you don't, they have some pretty amazing streams. And with that, I think that's everything for us here at Terribad Tavern.
Soul, you should be.
Don't worry about that. So,
It's the black.
Yeah, do the follow thing.
thank you all so much for being here. Remember, if you're not caught up and this is the first time you've ever seen this, you can go to my YouTube and find all the previous episodes. Yeah, see you guys next time. Fair rolls. Bye, everyone.